So you're thinking about moving out here to beautiful Irvine, but you're not sure where. Irvine is actually a rather large city, and a lot of it is very different. One neighborhood can be very different from the next. So what we're gonna do in this video is we're gonna just talk about what are the different areas. We won't talk about every single neighborhood because that's a little boring, but we'll give you the general flavors of Irvine. We're gonna talk about things that you're really gonna like about Irvine, and we're gonna talk about things that you're probably gonna hate, which is obviously more important because the worst thing that could happen is you move out here and you move to the wrong place. So let's get started. So first, because we're here, before we give a general overview of Irvine and give all the different places, where are we?
We are in Woodbury. So this is a newer community, newer village in Irvine. Not a very large village. So it's not like Woodbridge or something like that. So it's a smaller community, but really cute. I really like it. You can see it from the architecture from behind us. I just think they feel a little bit different from each other. It's not this whole different shade of beige kind of thing. Yes,
it's really cute. And we're about to walk right onto Jeffrey Trail, which is a very popular recreation area here in Irvine. I actually used to run along here all the time. I trained for my one marathon that I ever did. I trained for it here, so yeah.
And you did great at it, so good job.
No, I actually did not. Yes, you can blame our son for that, but whatever.
For your therapist.
Yes, let's walk this way first, just to give a little panoramic view. Let's just walk around, let's show,
slow-mo.
Let's show around just how pretty it is here. I mean, Irvine, we call it the land of 10,000 parks. And this kind of exemplifies it, right? It's just, that's what it's known for. It's known for nice, beautiful little patches of open space. Woodbury is very pretty, we love it, but it's exemplary of what Irvine is and why so many people like it.
So before we continue, I'm Sean Dazad.
And I'm Courtney Dazad, and we are licensed real estate agents here in the beautiful state of California.
And if you're watching this channel, you might be thinking, wow, Sean, I love Orange County. I love the weather. I just love the orange bubble. I can't wait to move out here now, but the problem is that I'm not local. I may be even out of the country, so I don't know what to do. And I totally get that. That's why you want to reach out to us. We can be your boots on the ground. We can have that conversation, really find out what you're looking for, and give you virtual tours of those properties and neighborhoods, really giving you a good feel of what you're looking at before you even come out here, so that way your time here is super, super efficient. So what you want to do is you want to give us a call or shoot us a text.
Yes, that number is a cell phone, so you can call us or text us, or you can use WhatsApp if you're outside the country. Now let's just start giving a little bit of an overview of Irvine itself, and then we'll give the different flavors. So
okay, a little 50,000 foot view, right, of Irvine. So you're basically dealing with a city, a mid-sized city of about 300,000 people, give or take. So, located smack dab in the geographic center of Orange County. So that's what a lot of people do like about it, is that it's very easy to get to anywhere in not just Orange County but Southern California from Irvine itself. And plus, it's the largest employment center in Orange County, so it's the biggest employment hub. You have a top tier university here in the University of California, Irvine. You know, again, according to niche.com, rated very highly, as far as Irvine school systems are concerned. Yes. Irvine, the Irvine Unified School District. So it just kind of has a lot of things going for it. And also the two major freeways do actually intersect here as well. So you have the 405 and 5 freeways, which are two of the major freeways in all of Southern California. So,
well, I mean, I would say what Irvine is really known for is just its planning. It's a bunch of master plan communities. I mean, it's kind of funny. So Orange County, all of Southern California is known for having terrible traffic, right? And then I was just talking to Sean today, and he was talking about, oh, the traffic's gonna be terrible. And then I was like, wait, but it's Irvine. The traffic in Irvine, honestly, isn't that bad compared to the rest of the county, because it's just known for being really well planned, big thoroughfares. I mean, that's what it's known for. It's known for the amenities, everything. It's very convenient. You know, you think there should be a Target on the corner, and look, there it is. There's a Target on the corner. That's just Irvine in a nutshell.
And I would say that as far as the traffic, there are alternate routes. So you not only do you have several freeways that run through Irvine, you also have these, and you're mentioning these thoroughfares, these are streets that are these arteries that could be 8 lanes across or whatever. So it really can kind of get you from point A to point B rather quickly, and you aren't stuck just taking the freeways. You have great options one way or the other. Again, not to say there's no traffic. There certainly is, especially if you're coming from a more rural area. But if you're coming from any metropolitan area, it's really not bad at all.
Yeah, so now let's start explaining the different areas of Irvine. So kind of what I like to use to explain the middle of Irvine, or what we call the Flatlands.
TM.
I know. So it's a very flat part of Irvine, and what really exemplifies it to me is Woodbridge, which is a huge master plan community. It's kind of like the OG of master plan communities. It's an older community in Irvine.
Yes.
So that really sort of describes that flavor of Irvine, where the houses are very much packed together. It's got tons and tons of amenities, very flat. So you want to give a description. It's kind of like the middle of Irvine between the 405 and the 5 is kind of like the super, super flat part of Irvine.
Yeah, and even extends a little bit beyond the 5 freeway as well, until you hit like about Irvine Boulevard, I would say. But yeah, it's this like general flat swath of land. Because it's flat, you don't have views in general. Yeah. And because it's also the topography isn't hilly, you don't have these homes can be kind of packed more like sardines. So basically, you can't have that situation where you have that Brady Bunch thing that we always kind of allude to, where your home's in the middle and you have your 8 neighbors like either across the street or next to you or behind you. So you just kind of, that's a general flavor of Woodbridge. Again, having said that, I love Woodbridge, but at the same time, if you want more space between you and your neighbor, the Flatland area is probably not the best option. Yeah. Where there are other options within Irvine that might fit better for you.
Yeah, Woodbridge itself, I actually personally love because it's
so convenient.
It's so centrally located, and I also think it offers really good value because it is on the older side. Yeah. So I think some people may, they're looking for homes here, and then they may pass it over because they're like, oh, I don't want a home that was built that long ago.
And when we say that long ago, we should probably make it's all relative, right? True. So Woodbridge was built mostly in the 70s and 80s. So that's kind of the general age range. And for South Orange County, which kind of Irvine is kind of like the beginning of the South Orange County part. Yeah. That's, again, on the older side for sure. I mean, so what you have within Irvine, you have stuff that's built in the 70s and 80s all the way to present day as well.
Yeah, so to me, I personally, like Woodbridge, to me personally, because this is just me, my personal preference, it's actually one of my favorite neighborhoods in all of Irvine just because I think it just offers that value. And Irvine is definitely on the pricier side compared to most of Orange County, can be almost double the median home price depending. So it's definitely not a cheap city.
Yeah, I guess we should actually probably, before we go into other villages, we probably should mention that people kind of tend to get a little bit of sticker shock here because they feel like their dollars should go further. But you have to understand, internationally, Irvine is known. It's known by many people way more than even Orange County itself. Yeah. Which is kind of blowing our minds because honestly, when you think of Orange County before, you're thinking more of like the Newport Beach and that kind of, or Anaheim because of Disneyland or whatever. Yeah. But honestly, Irvine's made just such a name for itself. Like, we encountered somebody in England when we were in London when we were vacationing there, and they're asking where we're from, and we said, Orange County, and they're like, oh, I don't know where that is. I've been to Irvine before. Is it close to there? And we're like, it's actually in Orange County itself, but it's kind of one of those things where Irvine's just that well known, and because of that, people have their reasons for coming here. A ton of reasons. Whether it's work, whether it's schools, whether it's whatever. I mean, it's just so central. Yeah, weather, of course.
Let's talk about the weather.
Yeah. So so you just have like all these attributes, and so people kind of get a little bit of sticker shock because again, there's just so much demand here, and that's again just to be aware of that situation.
Yeah, so now that we've kind of used Woodbridge to sort of talk about what you see as exemplified as the flatlands of Irvine, where you're really, really packed together, you want to talk about Turtle Rock, which I think, so that is west of the 405, and that's when the landscape changes a little bit. It becomes a little bit more hilly, and so you get a little bit more room to breathe.
So I love Turtle Rock. It's one of my favorite neighborhoods in all of Orange County, and what I love about it is the fact that because it's west of the 405 freeway, you actually get the sea breeze. You're closer to the ocean and that kind of thing too, which is really nice. And on top of that, so the weather's a bit more temperate there. Yeah. It is hilly, so the homes aren't, again, just logistically, they just can't be stacked as close to each other. And also you do have view. You have opportunities for some views. So Turtle Rock is just beautiful. And plus, again, people do like Turtle Rock for also the school that it feeds into. So the high school that it feeds into is University High School, which is, according to niche.com, ranked 1 or 2 in all of Orange County for best public schools in all of Orange County. So
yeah, that you don't have to try out for, because there is also Orange County School of the Arts, but you have to try out for that. It has nothing to do with zoning.
Yeah, exactly. so it's just one of those. So that's a big draw. Like I've had listings in the vicinity where it feeds into University, and that was a big draw for some people. So again, that's just one of those things.
Yeah. And then around that area, you also have like Turtle Ridge.
Which is a bit newer. So, okay, Turtle Rock is also on the older side too, I should say.
That's true, that is
so
true.
Turtle Rock is also built in the 70s and 80s, a lot of it. Whereas like Turtle Ridge is definitely like post 2000. And then you have like, well, I mean, obviously we have Shady Canyon, which is
super ritzy.
Super ritzy. Like it's like gated, sometimes double gated, and you don't actually find a lot of gated communities in Irvine itself. That's just kind of what it is. So if you're looking for gated, reach out to us so we can have that conversation as far as that goes. But Shady Canyon, again, it's a very small, community as far as that goes. But it is big lots, big houses, and gated.
And then since we are on the western side of Irvine, do you want to talk about Quail Hill?
Sure. So Quail Hill is actually, again, built in the aughts of the 2000s. So the early 2000s is when this was developed. And you have a combination of condos, townhomes, and single-family residences. Some of them do have views. Obviously, the condos and townhomes are more packed together, as you would imagine. The homes can feel a little bit more spread out just because it is getting a bit more hilly. And it's right off the 405 freeway, so it's very convenient access. And the 133, which actually feeds you all the way into Laguna Beach, is right there. So as the crow flies, you can get there in about 7 minutes. Obviously, traffic can back up
to
depending.
About 45 minutes.
It can take a bit longer for sure. So, but you do have that option, right? And you just still have that sea breeze and that kind of thing. And I think before we leave, we have to do one more area. It's called Airport Area.
Oh yes, that's true.
So this is kind of a downtown kind of feel to Orange County, Orange County.
Downtown.
Well, we do
Quotation marks.
We have some high rises there.
We do.
We do have some residential high rises there. So there is that option where if you want high rise living, you can actually accomplish that in the airport area. And obviously, as you can imagine, it's right next to John Wayne Airport. So it's off the 405 freeway and John Wayne Airport. It's very extremely convenient location.
Yes, for sure.
It's one of the more farther north parts of Irvine. And again, I actually really like it. It's, just because it kind of offers something a little bit different than what you think of Irvine. This is nothing like it. You'll have actually 20-story tall buildings and that kind of thing. So if you're looking for that kind of living, obviously reach out to us and we can obviously point you in that direction too.
Yeah, and then do you want to talk about more the eastern part of Irvine, so east of the 5?
Okay.
So, I always think of Northwood, sort of like exemplifies that. You want to talk about what that neighborhood is?
Yeah, so Northwood is also, again, an older community, built in the 70s and 80s, and it kind of has I would say there's some similarities with Woodbridge as far as this other architecture and that kind of stuff. Again, think of very, very tract home suburbia kind of thing in Northwood.
Yes.
Now,
it's still very flat in Northwood.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And Northwood Point is actually not part of Northwood itself, but this is actually all gated communities in here. And again, it's more semi-custom homes, so it has a different kind of feel. I really like Northwood Point a lot.
Yeah.
I've had listings in there. It's a really, really cute area. So that, could be a big, nice option. And again, the homes can be, they can range 2,500 to 3,500, 4,000 square feet. Nice homes, gated communities, and some of the communities within Northwood Point are actually guard gated, whereas some of them just are gated as far as automatic gates. So it just kind of depends on where you are within Northwood Point. And then beyond it, now we're getting into the Orchard Hills, and so now it gets hilly again.
We're deciding where to go because somebody's in our path. But I love this way because I love the trail. So we're just gonna go anyway.
We're going for it.
Yeah, we're going for it.
We're there.
Yeah. But yeah, just to let you know, because obviously Northwood Point, Orchard Hills, definitely getting far east into Irvine, and that's when it starts getting hot. And hot, I mean by Southern California standards, but you're coming here for the weather, you're gonna become a weather wuss. You're gonna notice how much hotter it is.
Yeah, the air conditioning is gonna be cranking in the summer. Be aware of it. It's not a deal breaker, but at the same time, it's something to be aware of, right? So it is gonna be warmer, especially in the summers as far as that goes. But with it being more hilly, you do have actually more of those options for views. You have those more options where they're not as packed together. There are some gated communities within Orchard Hills, so there are some, again, it's also a much newer build. You have stuff that's almost like brand new, basically.
Yeah, and then we also should note that that part of Irvine, because it is abutting the Cleveland National Forest, you do have more heightened fire risk.
Yes.
Kind of the way that Sean and I like to describe it is, we're native Southern Californians, so we're for us fire, unless I'm personally living on a canyon, I don't personally have any thought.
Like front line, what do you mean on the canyon? Literally, if we're living
the
front line, right?
Yeah, below our house is a canyon. For me personally, I don't view it as a risk, but everyone's different, right?
Yeah.
And when you're living close to a canyon, you definitely have elevated fire risk. So if that's something you're concerned with, reach out to us. We can give you a fire map from the Orange County Fire Authority.
Exactly. And then as we go a little bit farther south, now we're hitting the Great Park, right? So the Great Park is in the flatter spots, so it's also part of the Flatlands. It's right next to the Irvine Spectrum, so it's right where that intersection of the 405 and 5 freeways are. And the Irvine Spectrum, because it's like such a big hub, not only for employment, but also it's a huge shopping center. Very big draw from that perspective, but like the Great Park is one of those few large new developments in all of Orange County, because again, Orange County is pretty mature, it's pretty much built out, but you do have, again, some of these opportunities. And the only reason why this is even a thing is because it's a decommissioned Marine Air Base. So it used to be El Toro Air Base, which was a huge air base back in the day. And then in the 90s, it was decommissioned, and now, so they basically built this huge park, and then they built all this development, all this development's going on around it, right? So that's kind of what's happening there. And what's nice about it is that even for new construction, it's actually rather centrally located. A lot of the new construction these days is kind of like more on the outskirts, like, like the largest new construction kind of happening right now is really like Rancho Mission Viejo. And you're going pretty far south, pretty far east for that. Whereas the Great Park is, kind of like right in the thick of things.
Yeah, that's what makes it so rare. And we do have a video about that, so subscribe to our channel if you are interested in that, because we have a tour of that.
And then finally, I think we can just kind of finish it off with actually a really cute community that's right next to the Great Park.
Well, it's within the Great Park.
Yeah, it's kind of sort of within. It gets a little murky right there, but it's right in that vicinity, and it's called Altair, and it's this gated community. Really cute, really nice homes like there. I really like it just because it's good sized homes. You do have some townhomes there as well. And it's gated, it's pretty new. I think it was built between 2017 to 2020.
Yeah.
So it's just nice to have nice, new, large homes. So Altair is a nice option if that's what you're looking for. And remember, we are licensed realtors here in the state of California, so as much as we love making these videos, what we love more is to help you with your real estate needs. So whether you're looking to buy or sell a home, what you want to do is you want to give us a call or shoot us a text.
Yes, that number is a cell phone, so you can call us or text us, or you can use WhatsApp if you're coming from outside the country. And let us know down below, where are you coming from? We always love to hear everybody's story and why they're coming out here to Orange County.